and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure. Cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently singing rock back chick. No sticks, no stones, or any kind of weapon don't belong here. I don't wanna break no bones, I just want a microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Want the microphone, morning. I just want the microphone, morning, morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, except for that you feel refreshed. You're never gonna get my side, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of men, cause I'm around my chick. I'll tag along and never look back chick.
Good morning viewers. It's 7 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show. This morning we're coming to you live from the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. We want to welcome you to this morning show again, giving God thanks for life. I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Rhea Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago, good morning Trinidad, the Caribbean, and those of you viewing us here on the live. Good morning. Julian, good morning.
Rhea, a breath of fresh air.
It is. Look at me, no jackets, no long sleeves.
A breath of fresh air. Beautiful yes. Indeed this morning. It's great to be here at Pigeon Point. In fact, we want to welcome all of you, as Rhea indicated, and to remind you, this is one of the must visits in terms of spots when you come to Tobago. In fact, those of you viewing us in Trinidad, the region, and the world at large, you've begun to see the space, and you're going to hear a lot more this morning about marketing Tobago. And we want to make sure you book that trip. Rhea, they've got to book that trip to Tobago. Now. Indeed. Rhea, I'm loving that dress this morning.
Julian, I am loving the dress as well. I am loving the dress. Anything for a dress. Now, I love dresses, but I'm more than that. I love having my shoulders out. I love having my arms out. I love being in the open. This is heaven for me.
It's indeed a great morning here. Rhea, we're starting off. I think we should have some birthdays on the lineup this morning.
Before we get into that,
we get into birthdays, not a problem.
I want to talk a little bit about how good you look this morning, Julian. When he walked into the space this morning, we were really surprised. No, it's not just the shirt, not just the pants, but the fact that you need to capture, guys. You need to capture the shoes.
I'm hoping that they're getting the shoes.
Yeah, I'll talk about mines a little as we continue.
So this morning, I'm very happy, viewers, to be wearing, and of course thanking sponsor for this morning, Rashad's Men's Store, located in Mount Pleasant. The shirt is courtesy Rashad's as well. Let me make sure I get the names correct. It's Zara Skinny Comfort Jeans. You notice there the fit and so on to suit.
Yes. This
morning I don't have the whole legs outside, but just the ankle outside, and wearing as well the Nike new Air Max, and that's the 270 React this morning, courtesy Rashad's Men's Store. I want to remind all of you, you can get your clothing as well, because Rashad's is about that experience. And I reminded, when I went there yesterday and they determined, I said we're going to be on Pigeon Point this morning. Yeah. Right? He said, as they were looking around, and so he said, I kind of look. I said, I was thinking shorts. He said, nah, I thinking about the ankles outside, slim fit jeans, a nice short sleeve shirt. Yes. And Julian, I know you're not into the sneakers too much unless you're wearing shorts, but we're doing sneakers this morning. So I want to thank Rashad's Men's Store once again, and remember to check them out there at Mount Pleasant.
And for my feet, I need to talk about my feet this morning, courtesy Mateo's. Now, I was told by Claudette, Ryan, to the guys out there, you gotta capture.
Yes.
You gotta capture the feet.
Make sure.
So it's good to see Mateo's get a nice close up, and I was told to sit like this by my good friend Claudette Daniel. Claudette said, you got to sit and show, got to show those shoes. So I know a lot of viewers, she said, have been asking about the leather between the toes. Yes, it is comfort leather. The leather is very soft between the toes.
Very nice.
Very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. Very gorgeous, and they've got colors and sizes to suit. So that's Mateo's, otherwise known as the Master Cobbler. They're now known as Mateo's. So you can check them out uptown.
And Rhea, we really got to continue to compliment that effort. And if our viewers, other potential sponsors, feel free to connect with us. It's 284-6597. Connect with us at sales@tobagoupdates.com, because we want to encourage you to become a part of this show as we promote Tobago. We promote Tobago content, and we also highlight our Tobago entrepreneurs out there making a difference and contributing to the growth and development here in Tobago. We are good things happening, good things.
Only good things this morning. So
I'm seeing somebody telling me here this morning, Ria, yes, I'm with you. A well-watching Ria outfit. All right.
Thank you.
So Ria, we're heading on into some birthdays this morning.
Yes.
Let's see who we have popping up on that screen for us this morning as we celebrate some birthdays. Go ahead, Ria.
Definitely. So my cousin Nicole Elder out there in Enterprise Shogun is celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday going out to you from Auntie Joan, Uncle Elton, Auntie Esther, Auntie Pam, the Grenada crew, the Tobago crew, the Trinidad crew, Michelle, Rosie, Kim, everybody. I love going out to you this morning. Her picture's supposed to be up on that screen.
Yes, definitely, Ria.
Yeah, it was one of the
it's up there.
One of the first pictures that we sent out this morning. So Nicole, happy birthday going out to you, as well as my good friend Janice Donaldson. She is the mother of those silly Roxanne and Jason. Yeah. Their mom, Janice Donaldson, celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday going out to you, Miss Janice. And if you don't know who Miss Janice is, she had one of the longest standing shops up at the old hospital. That's that shop. If you go to the hospital, if you went to the hospital up at the fort, when it was located up at the fort, you went there 10 o'clock in the night, Miss Janice would be there. You went there 2 o'clock in the morning, Miss Janice would be there. You went there midday, Miss Janice would be there. She was always there. So happy birthday going out to Miss Janice, and lots of love going out to you from the Tobago Updates family.
Yes, and this morning we also sending out special birthday greetings to my very good friend Monique Timothy. Monique is celebrating today, celebrating that birthday. And yes, we got Monique up on screen there. Some will know her, as I call her from time to time, Mo Tim, it's your day. And I really want to wish you a happy birthday. Trust that you have an enjoyable one today. And I know you're going to have fun straight into the weekend. Andrea, I want to get a double shot on screen because this lady sent me a few days ago to send birthday greetings out to her husband. Wow. But what she didn't tell me is that the connection between her and her husband were mere days apart. Wow. So I'm looking out for that shout out on screen. Delia Jerry. She sent the greetings for Clint Jerry a few days ago. But what she didn't tell me is, wow, we have a whole week of birthday celebrations between Clints. So certainly want to wish Delia Jerry happy birthday coming from the Tobago Updates family. And we know you're tuned in via TV. You and Clint watching us this morning. So we want to say we trust that you have an enjoyable one. Delia Jerry here coming from, of course, Delia, me and the Tobago Updates family. Happy birthday going out to you.
Definitely.
Ria, what's happening in the Tobago space?
Well, Julian, school resumes on Monday. For Standard 5. That's the face-to-face school, that is, for Standard 5s and Forms 1, 2, and 3. Now, already a lot of parents have been in and around Scarborough purchasing school bags and uniforms, and I think a lot of parents were a little bit skeptical because they waited until last minute, and rightly so. I can understand why. They were not certain, if the government would have gone through, if the Ministry of Education would have gone through with the reopening of these forms and these classes until, I guess they were just waiting to see what was going to happen. And
that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, we know what we've been through over the last 2 years. School was reopening, then it was shut down and was virtual, no more face-to-face, so we can clearly understand that. Yeah?
As my grandmother would say very nicely, picnic them growing fast. So you can't buy anything too early. Converted for those of you in the region and internationally, the children are growing up so quickly these days. You can't buy the clothes in advance so that it won't fit. All right, so Ria, who do we have on the rundown this morning?
My Lord, on the rundown this morning, quite an interesting program, I must say. On the rundown this morning, we will be chatting with Louis Lewis, who is the CEO
correct,
TTAL, and he is going to be chatting with us this morning on marketing or destination during a pandemic. So he's coming up first on the program.
And we'll also be chatting this morning with Sadie Harry, manager of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park, and she's going to give us a little insight into the operations of this space and place, this gem in Tobago.
And if I'm not mistaken, Julian, we've got Brett Kenny, who is the owner and operator of Radical Sports Tobago, and we're going to hear more about that. In fact, we're going to see Candace in full action this morning again.
And when it's Candace, you can look for any part on land or by way of the sea. All right, and certainly this morning you can't have a show at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park and speak tourism without having the Secretary Terry with responsibility for tourism. So we also look forward to chatting with Councillor Tashia Burris this morning, viewers. We want to thank you all so much for the continued love and support coming out for the Tobago Updates and the Tobago Updates morning show in particular. Viewers, this is our gentle reminder to you. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards to our
Welcome
top
to Tobago
story.
Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains when
the public is
nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Speyside Marine
in Tobago fishermen.
When will the
Sion
Roxborough
Francis
Hospital be fully functional?
of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window at the islands
treasures like the Golden
continue to
Waterfall
rise in Tobago.
Morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It's 7:15 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show. We're coming to you live from Pigeon Point, the Pigeon Point Heritage Park here this morning. And in this segment, we are chatting with Mr. Louis Lewis himself, CEO of Tital, this morning with us on set. Good morning to you, sir.
Okay, good morning to you.
And you know, for those who get mixed up any at all with the Tital, start by telling us what's Tital. I know that's the common branding for it, but just remind our viewers.
Yeah, it's the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited.
All right, excellent.
TTAL.
Julian, I tell you. All right, so tell us this morning, Mr. Lewis, what are some of the plans, the initiatives of TTAL? What is TTAL responsible for?
Well, the core mandate of the agency is to resuscitate the growth of tourism in Tobago. And we've been doing that through a number of initiatives. Of course, firstly is marketing, and it's marketing to ensure that, you know, this is the food that feeds the horse while the grass is growing.
Right.
We are also doing a number of initiatives aimed at competitiveness, where we are addressing some of the product development issues, areas like customer service, service delivery, the quality of the sites and attractions, what to offer in Tobago,
right.
And even driving the perception of what Tobago is. As in a number of initiatives, you would have seen us aiming for greening the destination,
right.
looking for those international accreditations, and we have actually achieved a few of those. So in a nutshell, that is what we do, and we have had some successes, you know, I dare say on my own behalf. You know, we've had some successes, and we are headed in that direction to try to make Tobago more competitive, more sustainable, and more attractive for visitations.
Okay.
There are some that have questioned, as a follow-on from what Ria would have just asked, there's some that have questioned what's been the real role and responsibility, particularly during the pandemic, noting carefully that we may not have had so much of an opportunity for visitors to come in. When we would have been on lockdown only quite recently, we would have seen 2 flights coming and so on. What did TTAL use the time doing in terms of being able to get us to a point where we are able to pivot as we rebuild the tourism industry?
Well, this essential feature of what we've been doing is, to use your exact term, is pivoting. We had worked in collaboration with the stakeholders and developed a roadmap for growth, and we were in the 2nd year of implementation. And we had started with a bang. We started to see results. For the first, in 2019, we actually experienced a 8.2% increase in our international arrivals. And with the addition of the ferry service, we started to see our domestic arrivals trending upwards. In January of 2020, we had a 20% increase, and that was the first time in probably 7 years that we had such a phenomenal increase, and it really proved the accuracy of the strategy that we had developed. But then came the pandemic, and we had to pivot to what would the world be looking at and looking for in a post-COVID environment. And while we had perceived at that time, in March of 2020, that it would have been probably 3 to 6 or in a long stretch 8 months, we are now looking at it backwards, 2 years after the fact. What we have done is that we have had to refocus and rechannel our efforts in terms of the marketing. And even marketing itself has changed within that time frame. What do people do? How do people access information? How do they consume content? Those things have changed phenomenally while we are going through the pandemic. So we have had to make adjustments internally. We've also used what we call the shadow of the pandemic to focus on our product. And our product meaning that we have established that the destination is a sustainable one. It's a green one. So we use the title of Untouched, Undiscovered, Untouched, Undiscovered as part of the feature of the destination, because people are looking for those sustainable countries and places to visit. And we focus on developing the beaches into that international accredited standard called Blue Flag. And the reason why we went after it is specifically because it resonates in our strongest market, where we get more than 70% of our international arrivals. But it also is something good to do for sustainable development. And we are proud to say that we have 3 pilot status beaches in Tobago. So that is one. We've also put ourselves within the conversation to cause more viral discussions about Tobago, and we did a joint promotion with Giant magazine, Giant cycling based in Europe. And these are enthusiasts who are looking for soft adventure, and we had a very active campaign with them. So we are putting Tobago in that conversation. We've also bid for a Sustainable Development Award in the German market, which is our 2nd largest one, and we came 2nd. And we take that 2nd with a pinch of salt, because we were outclassed by Bavaria, which is actually a German, province. But we outclassed a number. So we are in that conversation discussion going about as a sustainable green destination. And if you permit me, just one more. Just 2 weeks ago, we were voted as the best island in the Caribbean for sustainable development by the readers of the National Geographic Explorer. Now, if you needed any more authentic recognition of an achievement, that is, is something that you can jump on. So we are positioning the destination in that area. A number of our properties, we have 5 so far and more to come, have accredited for the Green Key certification. So when you put that whole picture together, you are seeing a number of green assets. And while we are not essentially an eco destination, we are definitely in the conversation, and this is what people will be looking for. So we've been very active in the background.
Just a quick follow on. Persons would say, Mr. Lewis, that we hear oftentimes, and we've heard it a lot in the Tobago space in more recent times, about the awards, which are good. But how does that translate into the numbers improving and really bringing the kind of economic benefit here from tourists in Tobago?
Well, and that is where we are now in the era where we are starting to see the results, because our borders have been closed to international traffic for close to 2 years now. So now that they are open, the first international flight came in on the 10th of January, and the 29th we had a second one, the first one being British Airways, and now we have Virgin Atlantic coming in. The numbers are creeping. They are not phenomenal, but they are creeping and they are growing. People are now aware that Tobago is open, and as we move forward and as we ease the restrictions, we will start to see some of those results bearing fruit in terms of absolute arrivals. I don't want to ignore the fact that we have a domestic market that is huge and very, very important for us. Unfortunately, it's a difficult time to market actively when the messaging is social distancing. There's a restriction in terms of the capacity in the number of flights, and and the capacity of the ferry as well. If you try to book a flight now, you would encounter some challenges because the demand is there, but we don't want to leave it to become automatic. We are at the point where we are going to resuscitate that domestic campaign as we get a more amenable environment for us to be able to attract and actually accommodate more people from the domestic market as well.
What is the slogan being used at this point during the pandemic to promote Tobago?
Well, the brand identity of the destination is Tobago Beyond Ordinary. And we have used a number of tactics around that suggestion. So in the first case, we started dreaming of Tobago, and that is not too different from the original tagline, where people are not able to come, but we just kept the engagement going. Continue to dream of Tobago, where we are featuring a lot of user-generated content. So people who would have been here before, we were able to use their material to promote Tobago. Then we got to the point of we welcome your return as the restrictions started to ease and people started to respond and react to that, because it's really social media driven to get people's attention, and we have used that to keep a captive audience on Tobago looking at us. So now that they are able to come, we are using that to welcome people back to Tobago. So it has varied according to the times and according to the conditionalities that were dominant at various intervals.
So and I have to ask the obvious question now. We are at a point where, and it's really twofold. I attend a number of conferences and head out there in the region, and I like the fact that you spoke to Tobago Beyond Ordinary. Do you feel that focal point for us has catch on in the way that it should? You attend events now, and when people speak Tobago, they still speak the capital of paradise, clean, green, safe, and serene. And more than that, going on a little further with the question, as one of our viewers is asking, seeing the positioning of this new administration and the chief secretary had a particular brand that people would have tied themselves to in terms of the greatest little planet, on this earth. Yeah. How do we tie in those kinds of philosophies in terms of promoting Tobago?
Well, that is something that we have to reconcile. And I go back to your first question. I'm not confident that we have done the most that we could have done with regard to spreading the message locally, and that is very key and important for a buy-in to the phrase. It has received international acclaim and it has been well recognized on the outside, and I think that is part of the recognition. It's a new way in featuring Tobago, and people have actually responded to that. But when it comes to the local buy-in, I think with the Chief Secretary's coining of the phrase, the best little island on the planet, it's not too far from giving you a beyond ordinary experience. We will have to reconcile those things, going forward. We've had the beyond ordinary tagline for about 3 years. There may be a possibility for refreshing it. There's also a possibility of tying the two. But I like the concept that the Chief Secretary has proposed, because it allows us to aspire to something greater than we are doing at this point in time. So if we want to be the greatest, there are a number of international standards for being great. But if we decide and accept that we are moving towards greatness, it causes us to be our best self. And at the same time, it also reminds us that we should not be jaded by our familiarity with what exists, because it allows us to become complacent. But if we recognize the spectacle for which other people would see it as, then it allows us to get and stretch and reach further. And that is how I think we can progress. So we'll have to reconcile those phrases and come to a settling point. But it's definitely, both of them are aspirational.
Now, I've always believed that tourism is an everybody's thing. The lady who lives on the hill, the person who lives on the beach. And it's not just the division of tourism. It's not just Tital. How can the everyday individual, how can persons in Charlottesville to Crown Point become a part of the Tobago product?
Well, everybody is already part of the Tobago product, but the question you ask raises the issue. How do we make them feel that they are part of that product? Because I don't think that connection is there. And tourism has this strange conundrum where we are battling with a number of perceptual issues. Are we owners or are we participants? Are we viewers of development? And it speaks to the necessity for us to answer those questions and create opportunities for engagement and participation. And it starts from a tourism awareness campaign, which the Secretary for Tourism has already said very clearly that this has to happen in a more decisive way, and it has to be sustained. How do we show people the opportunities that exist and show them the potential? And more than just showing, we have to get them to be part of it. And while I will leave the strategy in terms of how that is going to be done, for the Secretary to articulate a little more, but we are in that direction where the environment is being created for more inclusive participation in the growth of tourism. So whether it be from having sites and attractions evenly dispersed, whether people are taking ownership of some of the accommodation opportunities, becoming tour guides, and providing services that connect with tourism, even if it is perceptibly remote as agriculture, craft and all of those things. There are several opportunities for interaction and involvement in the tourism industry, and as we grow those, you will find the reaction and response to tourism improve as people become more participants than spectators.
How would you distinguish for the person that says Tital, Division of Tourism, doing the same thing? What is the what distinguishes Tital in terms of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited?
Well, what distinguishes Tital is really we are at the forefront of the marketing thrust, and we are utilizing product development to change to position the destination. So those things would be the accreditation, the raising the standard of service delivery, and the like. The division has the responsibility for establishing and setting the policy, and that is very key and important. So you would see initiatives like standards, the policies related to investments, and all of those bigger heavy lifting initiatives, the maintenance of some of the assets that are owned by the state. That is a very involved process as well. So we work in collaboration, and it's when the two work in collaboration we get the sort of excellence that we are heading for.
Quite good.
All right, so I guess we have some bright days ahead of us. Now, when we started the interview, you made mention that it's creeping, that the numbers are creeping in terms of persons coming to the island. How hopeful are you that things will open up further and we're going to see more flights coming, more persons coming?
I am very hopeful, but I don't want to give the impression that it's going to happen automatically. It's going to take tremendous effort, because if anything, the market has become very competitive. And how we attract visitors has actually changed, because even marketing in itself is a dynamic, a very dynamic section. For instance, if I may stray off, but to look at how things are changed, people have now become accustomed to consuming content digitally in ways that did not happen prior to the pandemic.
Right.
I feel strange now going to a face-to-face meeting because we have adapted to online content. The emergence of features like TikTok. Even songs are now becoming shorter. Conventional songs are no longer 4 and 5 minutes. They go into 2 and 1.5 minutes. So that the world is adapting to some of those changes, and we have to use that sort of adaptation to reach the new customer. My daughter tells me that, Daddy, Facebook is for old people. So it tells me that, when you're looking for the younger demographic,
right,
that is not the strategy to get them. You have to get onto the Instagram and, the Pinterest, right, and all of those things. So it's constantly surveilling the environment, looking at what is trending, looking at how people are consuming their content, and going after that and persuading people that, that Tobago is the best option for them. So, once you have the product that says you're green, you're sustainable, you're environmentally aware, okay and safe and healthy, and you can come and go without incidents of COVID. We have good vaccinated content, content of the population, etc., etc. Then we become attractive, and that's when you start to see the numbers, climb.
All right. So in the final 30 seconds of this interview, because the Tobago Updates morning show, it's not just here in Tobago, but we stream Trinidad, the region, and the world at large. In your final 30 seconds to wrap this morning's interview, why Tobago?
Tobago is the best little island in this part of the planet. Sending it out very strongly and very clear.
All right.
And we live here.
We enjoy and we live where you want to vacation. So we really want to encourage persons. Tobago is a must. This is the time where you head on to all your relevant sites, call your agents, etc. It's time to start booking that Tobago trip. All right. Thank you very much there again this morning for joining us on set here, at Pigeon Point, Mr. Lewis of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited. Rian, it's a good thing when Mr. Lewis comes suited up for an interview and he says, wow, it's going to be right out on right on the outside. Time for me to take off that jacket and tie.
That's right.
All right, so thank you very much for being on here with us this morning.
All right, so viewers, lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates morning show, and we encourage you today, share the live, share the live, share the live.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards to our
Welcome
top
to Tobago
story.
Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains. When
the public is
nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides Marine
in Tobago fishermen.
When will the
Sion
Roxborough
Francis
Hospital be fully functional?
of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window at the island
treasures like the golden
continue to
waterfall
rise in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7:37 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show, and we're coming to you live from the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. Not the Port Mall this morning, but the Pigeon Point Heritage Park here. And just before we go into this segment, we've got a birthday shout out as well to Officer Cavell Mills this morning. We want to wish you a happy birthday. Coming from the Tobago Updates family. Ria almost gave you a little song there, you know. And Ria, I think we also have a school celebrating an anniversary today.
Definitely, not just a school. Compre, as we know, Compre. So that's the Signal Hill Senior Comprehensive. Back then, as it was known, now it is Signal Hill Secondary School, celebrating 45 years. So congratulations going out to you guys. In fact, to all of us, not just you guys. And if I'm not mistaken, Julian had a little stint.
No, my stint was yes, Scarborough Sec, and then on to Bishops. But I wanted also, but I definitely want to join. Ria is saying that stint and making me wonder about the school days and the joys that she had there, you know. But let's carry on. Certainly want to join in sending out anniversary greetings and congratulations to Signal Hill. I think the principal up there now is Mr. King.
Yes,
Mr. Xavier King, and the entire team out there at Signal Hill. I'm seeing Anthony Blackman. I know she's tuned in from time to time here. Teacher and staff and all the others who make it happen. Carrie as well, Manswell. Congratulations, and to all the students out there at Signal Hill. All right, in this segment, Ria, I'm told that we are enjoying this space this morning as a result of someone who leads a team here at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. Ria, who are we welcoming on set this morning?
Well,
as she brightens up the space.
In her beautiful pink. She looks fantastic in pink, viewers. We're chatting this morning with Sadie Harry, the acting manager of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. All right, and we're talking this morning about operating the Pigeon Point Heritage Park during a pandemic, and that can't be easy to do.
I know.
Yes.
Welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. And let me take this opportunity, Ria and Julian and the Tobago Updates family, the team, and welcome you to the most beautiful place in Tobago. And I say that, let me say it again, the most beautiful place in Tobago.
You see how dramatic she said it? Yes.
Heritage Park Limited. It's our joy to have you here with us this morning, and we look forward to more opportunities like this.
She gets you excited, Ria.
We're happy to be here. Is that an invitation to come back?
Open invitation.
Okay, good.
Yes.
We'll take you up on it.
Right, and I'm taking her up on it, Julian and family. But let's continue with this morning's interview. So as we chat this morning, you know, this is one of the iconic and use faces when it comes to Tobago. Yes. Tell us about you know, how the organization in terms of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park and the entire team has been able to maintain and sustain and really keep this space, you know, in pristine condition.
Well, you know, as would have been mentioned earlier, managing this space during the pandemic, it has been tough, like any other locale, any other business. It has been truly tough for us. Let me just point out that I'm the acting manager and I've only started here in the middle of January of 2022. However, since 2013, the Pigeon Point Heritage Park and the Strawberry Beach facility would have been managed by the same board of directors. So I'm very much familiar with the operations and what happens here. So, you know, during the pandemic 2020, 2021 and coming into 22, it was indeed difficult. But one of the things that helped us to maintain the look and feel that is Pigeon Point, that is iconic Pigeon Point, is a committed team of persons, from the board of directors to the management team and then to the staff that operate on the ground. Of course, we had to be closed for several months, but even with the closure of the beach and the facilities, we had to ensure that we maintain the facility, because as we know, anything that is not being used will eventually go down. So during the pandemic, we had a smaller number of persons out ever so often, ensuring that the basic maintenance went on. We have been hit hard economically, as I said before, like any other business, but thankfully we've been able to manage, and with the reopening of beaches, we are ready for all our visitors. Tobagonians or local visitors, our visitors from Trinidad, and of course our international visitors, because as we know, British Airways is back and Virgin is back. So we are ready, we are open for business here at Pigeon Point Heritage Park.
Now, what have the numbers been like for you since the beaches have been reopened, one, and then two, we're talking here about the 5 a.m. to 12, to 12 noon, and then 5 a.m. to
2 p.m.
5 a.m. to 2, and then 5 a.m. to 6 p.m., well, as of Monday gone.
Yes. Well, what we have noticed with the 5 a.m. to 12, we had a situation where, people were eager to get back into the salt water, and they were eager to get back into Pigeon Point. So there were the numbers we saw from the very first day of the reopening. We saw a good amount of persons. As time progressed, the numbers started to increase. Of course, with the reopening of the extension, from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m., we saw more persons. And now, with this new extension, it's even better. So even like on a Monday, when normally on Monday we have a low visitorship, this Monday gone, we had a good amount of persons. So it is all going well for us because, of course, Pigeon Point, we survive in several ways. Our gate receipt is one of the major ways in which we earn revenue. So the reopening of the beaches and the extension of the times is doing quite well for us. We have people coming in, as you would have seen, persons are here from as early as 6, 7 a.m.
Yeah, we saw some persons on the beach here.
But of course, we open officially from 9 a.m., right? So throughout the day, we have a good number of persons, and we anticipate that is going to continue to increase as we go on. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about businesses and the entities operating within this space. I mean, because it's one thing to enjoy the beach, but further to that, the additional supply of handicraft, whether it is you need stuff in terms of food and items, and so how have you been able to work along with these entities so as to ensure that similarly they are able to, to reopen and to benefit with the return traffic to Pigeon Point?
Right. What we have been doing in respect to that, we are encouraging all our stakeholders, all our tenants to open. Yes, the time is limited, but open. Here in Tobago, we say one full basket.
That's right.
So we are encouraging persons to open. We are very happy to indicate that our two major bars on the facility, Renmars and Traditions, they are certified safe zones. Right, and we have seen, especially on the weekends, where they are seeing an increased number of persons. During the what I want to call the hard hit times of the pandemic, 2020, 2021, the then board of directors would have offered waivers in the rental for the tenants. So that would have eased some of the burden somewhat. With the reopening, we also noticed with the December 20th reopening, although the beaches reopened, because of the limited time, as I indicated, the numbers were coming, but they were not great. So even in respect of that, consideration is being made at this time to even look at the amount of rental that we're doing. What I have done since being here, I go around individually to the tenants to give them that type of moral support and push. But my thing, I say to them, open, one full basket.
I feel it's like a strategy with Sadie, She has such a bubbly personality. Reminds me a lot of a friend of mine, Arlene. And I know that's her body too. But
morning, Arlene.
Morning, Arlene. And I am just thinking about it in the context of that kind of energy. You could imagine an upset tenant because I have a problem. Yes. And I feel it's a strategy when she comes herself with that bubbly energy. They might say, well, I was having a little trouble here, how you could help me out? I suppose we are in the customer service industry.
Yeah. Julian is letting out my secret.
All of them this morning, apparently.
No, but it's very important to offer some level of comfort to people in this time. This pandemic has really affected people, not just economically, but when you think
emotionally.
And I wanted to add on, one of the reasons why I spoke to that in terms of the personality and the energy. How do you ensure that transition positions beyond just you, and your entire staff reflects that kind of energy. Because sometimes people say, I come to the gate and they treat me bad or they buff me, your first point of call. And then some people say, I had a great experience. How do you ensure that starts from the very entry with both your security and your staff there in the booth?
And you see me laughing because yesterday I had a meeting with all the staff and we looked at that. And as I said to them, let's not call this customer service training because we've all been trained. All we get with manners and we brought up C. But I said
she just shifted. Go ahead.
You see why she and Arlene are best. But you continue. You continue to say.
I said to them, let's look at it as continuous customer service reminders. Because we know it. So, for example, at the gate, we have to do the temperature checks. And I said to the security and the staff, I said, don't just go up to the car windows with this gun. Give them a smile.
Prince Alexander, good morning. Good morning to you, cuz.
Although you're wearing a face mask, you can see the smile in the eye.
That's right.
And say good morning. Welcome to Pigeon Point.
That's right.
May I check your temperature? So it's these simple little things that gives people a sense of comfort in this troubling, annoying time. The washing of the hands, the checking of the temperature, the sanitizing and washing over and over. But give them a smile. Smile with your eyes and be genuine with it. It should not be an act.
But the thing is, people know when it's a genuine smile and when it's a put on.
Correct. So I myself, like today, and we have scheduled for today. I'm going to be out at the gate for a little while today because saying it to the staff and they not actually seeing you do it sometimes can be a little daunting.
Very
I'm
nice.
going to be out there in the hot sun with them today.
She's going to be the leader she wants to see.
I mean, I manage from the ground. And as I said to my staff, it's not about me, the manager. It's about managing a facility.
That's right.
It's about managing a facility. And I go all out. So today I'll be out there with them to show, demonstrate to them how you do it. I said to them, if you have a problem, if you're upset about anything, let's talk about it. Let's try to resolve it. But when it comes to our visitors, they must always be greeted by a person who's ready and willing to serve them.
Now, Tobago has always been known for its friendly face, its customer, somewhat of a customer service.
Yes.
But because we are tourist-based, how important is customer service? How important is that smile? Now, Sadie, you are really leading by example this morning because from the time in fact, before you even got on set, I was looking at you, not knowing who this person was, but I saw you standing over there next to that coconut tree and you were just smiling. I don't know who you were smiling at, what you were smiling about, but you were smiling. So
it comes natural.
Yeah, the thing is, and chatting with you this morning, we can see that this is just a part of who you are.
Just who I am.
How important is customer service?
It is as important as this fresh air that we're breathing here at Pigeon Point this morning. It is as important as the sunshine that is coming on our faces this morning. It is important. It should not be taken for granted. It's not that today I feel to give good service and tomorrow I don't.
I'm in a bad mood, so you won't get a smile.
My husband this morning, see when Julian come by the gate, it's me and him. No. You have to be consistent. You have to make a concerted effort to say, I am the representative, the face of Pigeon Point Heritage Park, of Tobago. So regardless of how I feel, what is happening, pandemic, COVID-19, whatever, it is my priority to ensure that I provide for my guests, my visitors, the maximum, the highest level of customer service.
All right, so viewers, as we wrap this morning's interview, we really want to thank you very much, and particularly, to express our appreciation and thanks to the acting manager here at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. And I think it's always appropriate, Rhea, for me to close with the words of two of our viewers here this morning on the live. World Boss King says, these are the persons needed to market Tobago. Great job. And in the words of Onika Maz, Sadie's personality is amazing. Folks, we've been chatting here this morning.
You need to hear Kieran McDougall. He said, that is Sadie for you, Rhea Richardson George. That is Sadie.
And since we're in Bonaccord, we can't be in Bonaccord and not call out Jimmy Sylvester. Jimmy said, Marjorie Phillips, I know you are going to be proud watching this interview this morning. Jimmy, I hope I did justice to the way that you would have been saying it at home. All right. So we want to thank each and every one of you so much for the continued love and support. We've got more coming up. Remember to stay tuned and share the live, share the live, share the live.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, Tobago. I am Candice Jackson, and I'm coming to you live in front of Radical Sports in Pigeon Point, where we are going to show you a little bit about kite surfing and windsurfing and a whole lot more of other fun stuff. But to get there, I'm going to take it to you in style on my one-wheeler, which I have dubbed this thing the sand surfer. So here we go. And of course, I'm having a little bit of help because, you know, to me talking on the mic, you know, I can be a little bit of a clumsy person. So, but yes, this is just one of the many things that you guys can do here in Pigeon Point. And you're all going to come down and experience this. But now, let's go and have some windsurfing lessons. All right. Well, good morning. Well, first we're going to talk a little bit with Brant just before we get into the windsurfing lesson.
Hi, Tobago. Hi, world.
Right. This is Brant of Radical Sports, who has all these awesome things that you can do here in Pigeon Point. Now, first, tell me a little bit about your shop, Radical Sports Tobago.
Radical Sports has always been about green, outdoor, energized fun. And we've always used the elements to kind of provide that fun. We use the wind for the windsurfing, the kite surfing, the sailing, winging, and so many other things. But we also have like bioluminescent nighttime tours, which bring a majestic experience to people that you feel like almost like you're out of this planet. And it's just by touching the water. So we're not adding any fuel, we're not adding any pollutants. We're just adding a little bit of energy, strength, and fun to almost anything that we do.
And these are things that almost anyone can do.
Candice didn't know what she was doing 10 minutes ago.
Yeah,
all of a sudden she's like a superhero that's one-wheeling. And we had to figure out like another way. Tobago's tourism has to continue to evolve. And how do we evolve is we keep adding and attracting at the same time. One wheel was just an example of how do we not use the ocean but still go surfing? Well, we can go surf on the land. And so that was just another thing that we could do. There are also electric vehicles. So again, it's harmonized with our green product that we've always had and what Tobago is also famous for. So it's just, you know, continue to add and add and add and stay green.
And people are probably wondering about safety.
Safety is always 100%. Candice has a helmet on. She's got, you know, these wrist guards. We also have pads for everything else. Everything that we do in the water requires you to have some, obviously, swimming skills or in the right perfect place where it's nice and shallow. You have a life jacket on and you can float with a licensed professional who's going to take good care of you.
And what about, you know, just what does this do for somebody? Being able to be outside and just do these things and get out of your comfort zone.
So, you know, getting out of your comfort zone is one of those things where we have to continue to challenge ourselves. And being outdoors in open air is the best thing that we can do in times like this when we're figuring everything out on a day-by-day basis. Staying healthy, staying outdoors, and having fun is what it's all about.
Okay, great. So we're going to talk a little bit about windsurfing.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So let me just get the helmet off and the but as you could go ahead and tell our viewers a little bit about windsurfing and how it can be done and how easy it can be for anyone to learn.
So everybody's excited by kite surfing as an example. You see this thing flying in the sky, you see all this aerial acrobatic things happening, but it takes a while to get there. Windsurfing is one of those things that's very entry level. Anybody can do it right off the bat, 10 minutes off the beach and you're already enjoying some fun. All right, now like anything that's worth anything, you have to put in a little bit of time. All right, it's not a press your button and Superman starts. So humble beginnings on all the things that we do. However, the goal is always fun, and that's what windsurfing is all about. So we're going to give you a little demonstration. This is a sail, this is a board, that's what floats you, and that's your gas pedal to take you to the fun. So
right. So I think we have an assistant here.
Nigel is one of my, legendary helps, and he's one of the best instructors. He's a sailboat captain, an aficionado in all things water sports, and I'm super happy that he could be with us this morning.
All right, Nigel, so go ahead and take it away.
Okay.
How do we do this?
Okay, so you climb up here. You're going to, right. So climb right on. This is called the up-haul. You're going to hold your up-haul. This is the start. Good, good. So let go your backhand. Good, right. You're going to put your left hand, put this left hand here. Good, and then you're going to put this right hand here. No, so this hand here, right hand goes there. Good. Straighten this hand as I was showing you earlier. Put your left hand to the back. Good. Okay. Keep the weight on the back foot there. Straighten this hand a bit. Good. Right. Get that sail a little straighter there. Good. Just feel that power in that sail.
And she's off to the races.
So keep it straight. Keep this hand. Right. Just play that backhand. Just feel that power. Right. Good. So if you want the water right now, you'll have been zooming along.
Right.
Obviously, the water adds a little demographic of, rocking back and forth. But, the faster that you go, just like a motorcycle, is the more stable you are. And so it can provide lots of fun. But like I said, Pigeon Point also offers very unique conditions, flatter water. And at the right time of the day, it's really super easy.
Okay, so now that we just showed you a little bit about windsurfing, we're going sailing. So yes, just one of the many things that you can do with Radical Sports Tobago. So folks, don't be afraid, don't be scared, come on down. The employees here, they are great. Brant and the team will make sure that you are very well taken care of. Make sure you minimize the chance of injuries and so on. I know you guys are worried about injuries sometimes, but it is always good to get out and take a chance and do something different.
Absolutely, and we're going to just jump on this sailboat right now and show you that. She's never been on a sailboat. She has done adventurous things, but this is just one of the next trophies she's going to have in her cabinet.
Right.
All
so
right,
let me just get my... Of course, we know we got to have the vest on.
All right, so this is going to just show you really quickly. Over the head, in, come around to the side.
Nice. You're
gonna keep this as you go? Keep it high if you do.
All right.
Good.
And now we're off in the water. Yep. It's Tobago Updates, people. This is how we do.
All right, you go ahead and sit down.
And we're off.
Push the sail in.
And we're sailing on Pigeon Point, people. This is one of the many, many ways that you can experience Tobago and experience all the good that it has to offer. So while we're off enjoying the water, I am just going to hand it over to you guys at the jetty. Ria and Julian, I'll see you in a bit. Bye.
Nice. When you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real, real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure. Cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently singing rock back chick. No sticks, no stones, or any kind of weapon don't belong here. I don't wanna break no bones, I just want a microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards. To our
Come to
top
Tobago
story.
Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains. When
the public is
nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides Marine
in Tobago fishermen.
When will the
Sion
Roxborough
Francis
Hospital be fully functional?
of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window
Still
at the
find
island
treasures like the golden
continue to
waterfall.
rise in Tobago.
John boy, I got a call and they're asking me to talk to the nation, talk to people and tell them about getting vaccinated. Yeah. I'm not sure if I should or if it's the right thing for me to tell someone to get vaccinated.
Yeah, but you just came back from Tobago.
Yeah, and 3 of my friends passed. And that's when I realized, I really need to say something.
Similarly here, I have an insulin-dependent son, and so I had to get all my kids vaccinated. I didn't have a choice.
I made the choice because of my parents. But the question is, what or who do you love more than yourself for you to make the choice to protect yourself or protect them from you? Trouble again!
Trinidad and Tobago, let's stop the spread of COVID-19. Vaccinate today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real, real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure. Cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently singing rock back chick. No sticks, no stones, or any kind of weapon don't belong here. I don't wanna break no bones, I just want a microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Updates morning show coming to you live here from the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. Ria, you want a bamba?
You want a G with the big boys?
This morning, Ria, who do we have on set with us?
Assemblyman Shea Boris.
Yes,
Councillor.
But we're speaking things into being. You know we do that here on Tobago Updates.
Just a matter of time. Councillor Shea Boris, Secretary for Tourism. She's on the program with us this morning, and we're talking all things tourism. Now we can afford to look around here. I mean, where we are seeing sun, sea,
yes, and sand.
Well, sea, sand, and I think the sun just went in.
Yes.
But I think it's just right. It's just right. So thank you so much for joining us on set this morning. We want to get your feel. We are just about 2 months or so into this area of responsibility. So we're going to start very broadly in the first instance. How do you feel having the responsibility for tourism within the Tobago space, the demands?
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to your viewers. Good morning to Julian and Ria.
Good morning.
2 months in, they are overwhelming days. I would not lie. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done. The sheer volume of work that needs to be done to rebuild this sector is enormous. But the beautiful thing about coming into a position like this is that I'm surrounded by people who are just as passionate as I am about tourism and Tobago. And, having meetings with the stakeholders over the last few weeks have been pretty eye-opening in terms of their own experiences. People bring their history, how many years they've been in the sector. They have their stories. But the one thing that is apparent with every interaction I have with a stakeholder is that they are completely loyal and committed to Destination Tobago. They had options to leave and they're still here, and they're willing to work with this administration to get Tobago back to the place where it should be, front and center in the minds of any traveler who wants to look for the greatest little island on the planet and have the greatest experiences on the planet. So I am excited, and that excitement takes me through my days. They are very, very long days. But for me, I wake up every morning with purpose. And I feel like if I've been purposed in this time to lead this fight.
I'm glad that you have touched on that point, because we were interviewing earlier, speaking to Mr. Lewis, and the question is now posed to you. Are we going to look for ways potentially, seeing that Tobago Beyond Ordinary is still relatively new, and as I mentioned to him in the interview, some persons are still tied to the concept of the capital of paradise, clean, green, safe and serene. How are we going to look at tying in now this new concept as espoused by our Chief Secretary in terms of making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet?
Right. So marketing is there's a concept in marketing called positioning. And you have to position an idea or a concept in the minds of people. The thing about the mind is that it can accommodate a number of ideas all at the same time. Tobago is all of those things: clean, green, safe and serene, Tobago Beyond Ordinary, capital of paradise, greatest little island on the planet. All of these things have a very common theme, that Tobago is unique. It is special. It is something that we have to celebrate. I mean, I was having a conversation up to yesterday, and I said to a gentleman that, have we ever asked why Tobago was fought over so many times? 33 times? We didn't have oil and gas back then. We didn't have gold under the sands back then. We didn't have diamond mines or anything like that. What is it that they knew back then about Tobago that caused them to send men into the Caribbean, fight, die for this little piece of rock, 116 square miles, and we have the privilege of living here? When we begin to answer that question is when we will begin to understand how privileged we are to be Tobagonians. So in terms of the marketing, there are different things that could work. In terms of an international reach, Tobago Beyond Ordinary has been used as our international brand marketing idea, but we have to put some serious focus on our domestic campaign, which is both our internal domestic campaign within Tobago and marketing to Trinidad, because Trinidad really is our largest market in terms of proximity and the amount of persons who can access Tobago at any one point in time. So that when you talk about our internal marketing campaign, our domestic, that is where you can start to talk about the clean, green, safe and serene, differentiating Tobago as somewhat of crime-free. We have no traffic You know, it's a kind of laid-back atmosphere where you want to relax, you can get to relax. If you want nightlife, you can get that. So you get a little bit of everything that you want to experience when you come to Tobago. You talk about the greatest little island on the planet. That is aspirational. That belongs to us. That is for the people of Tobago to now grab a hold of and make it theirs. How do we become the greatest little island on the planet? What does that look like? Does it mean that our service offerings are great? Does it mean that our service is great? Does it mean that people come to Tobago not as visitors, but they come as friends and they leave as family? What are the experiences we are leaving people with from the time they get an idea of who Tobago is to the time they touch down, when they experience it to the time they leave? And that is important for us here as Tobagonians, because if we want to position Tobago as the pillar of our economy, it means that each of us has a role to play in that. And I think that all of those different taglines speaks to the multiplicity of who Tobago could be. And I think that we should embrace all of those elements to be able to sell a truly extraordinary product that is Tobago.
Now, Councillor, we are sitting here this morning at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park Limited. And this is just one little nook in Tobago as we speak tourism. One beautiful, not just one little, but one beautiful nook.
Yes.
How do we take all the little nooks and crannies, you know, that make up Tobago to make it into that one gem? How do we spread that word out there?
Right. Well, I mean, there are I don't want to give away too much.
On Tobago updates, certainly. You go ahead.
Feel free. Give it away.
I don't want to give away too much. But we're going to be doing some quite unorthodox and kind of radical things over the next couple of weeks. We have some ideas that we want to roll out from within the division, through the agency, through our subsidiary companies like TPAC and TFCL, in terms of how do we package this Tobago product. Now, I'm glad that you indicated, you used the word gems, because there are so many little valuable experiences that we can now package to people. And I've tasked our tour operators, our promotion staff, to come up. I don't even want them to use the word tours anymore. I want them to use experiences, because community tourism is going to become one of our main focuses over the next couple of months. So that I'm asking them, when we go into our communities, what are the things that exist in our communities that people don't know about? So I think yesterday there was a post on Facebook where they found a tombstone somewhere in Speyside, way up in the bushes somewhere. I had a meeting with the Conservation Society, Heritage Conservation Society this week, and I was blown away at how many historical sites and attractions we have that are not yet even on our list of attractions. A number of water wheels, a number of windmills, an entire aqueduct that it's a huge old relic, a ruin that is there just covered in bushes. Tobago remains largely undiscovered, and I would echo that sentiment from the CEO of the tourism agency. So what do we need to do? We need to find these gems first, because we know they exist. So one of the things that I'm going to be tasking one of the departments in the division to do is to go and find these gems. Go and take pictures, go and take videos, because one of the things we want to launch is a challenge for people to find these gems. So that when that activity is launched, people will get a little bit more information about it. But what it does is create an entire adventure out of your visit to Tobago. So let's just say, for example, we have 101 undiscovered gems, and we're challenging people to go on a hunt. Go and look for these places, take pictures, take selfies, hashtag us, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook. If at the end we are giving people a year, we want you to find all within a year. So we know that we have some visitors who will now come back. I know you won't be able to find all in one weekend, but because some of them will be in places that have not been traversed in terms of normal traffic, but we have to open up the accesses. Things would be done to open up the accesses to the public to these different places and things like that. And we will make it safe, certainly, for people to go. But when we identify all of these places, we are sending people on a so-called Tobago treasure hunt. And we want you to find all these places. And the person who is able to find all these places by the end of the year is going to get some nice prize. But we are encouraging people to now go on a trip and rediscover Tobago. We'll send you off with maps. We will send you off with actual maps and digital maps. But at the end of it, take a tour, learn about Tobago, because when we, the people, again understand how valuable we are, how valuable this piece of rock is, then we will learn to appreciate it more. And I always say to my staff that the best brand ambassadors for Tobago are Tobagonians. But it's only when we understand our history and where we're at that we're able to sell the destination in the way that it should be.
Excellent. And you know, one of the things I want to go on to, as you speak communities, from time to time I would drive up. Well, I love the east. Yes. That's no secret out there. And driving on to the north side. And I realized there are a number of these small little parlors and shops that tourists always take the time to stop at. They will pass the major groceries, major entities to get that kind of interaction. What kind of support is there to ensure that even these proprietors, the staff at these entities, recognize that they also play a critical role in driving the tourism trust?
So I will tell you, Julian, that traditionally when we talk tourism stakeholders, the first thing people think about is accommodation sector providers, hotels, guest houses, things like that. And then you have restaurants, bars, you have tour operators, dive operators, reef boat operators, tour guide association. These are the general traditional stakeholders. My approach has been to try and find everybody who has some stake in the tourism product. So my discussions will not just be with those traditional stakeholders. I need to get the media involved. We need to get the tourism workers involved. We need to get the people who provide ancillary services. And ancillary services are not just people who provide direct services to like hotels and restaurants and bars, but we're talking about people who sell craft, people who sell sweets, people who sell souvenirs, things like that. We're talking about getting the media on board, because the media plays a huge role in terms of what goes out there to help either make or break brand Tobago. The way that we write our stories, the stories that we choose to amplify. Because now on the World Wide Web, everybody has access to anything related to Tobago. You type in a search about Tobago, you'll see what's trending on Facebook. You'll see what's trending in terms of Instagram. And if it's something negative that is trending, then, you know, that casts a damper. It casts a pall on brand Tobago. And especially since our counterpart Trinidad has been struggling with their crime situation over the years, it means that Tobago is now inadvertently, you know, getting negatively affected by that sort of thing. So I would want to encourage our media practitioners for us to have a discussion as to how we amplify the more positive stories. How do we amplify the better attributes of Tobago? I mean, yes, crime does exist. We're not sugarcoating that. And things have to be put in place to treat with any sort of crime situation that may occur. But at the end of the day, I want more positive stories to go out about Tobago. So in terms of those little parlors and those little quaint nooks and the fact that people want a very local, a total local experience, we want to encourage persons to continue to keep that authentic Tobago vibe and feel. I mean, people go to larger countries, they go to more established tourism entities, and they see these huge hotels and these brick and this steel and this concrete. But I think what makes Tobago special is because we have this local feel, but we're thinking very global in our outlook. I've seen some properties where they're just cabins, but they are luxury cabins, and you get that same 5-star hotel experience, but it looks very local. It has a very, very local feel. I think these little parlors, these little rest stops are part of the experience that we can give to tourists. We just have to incorporate all of those experience into our experience offerings and ensure that they have a seat at the table when we are discussing how are we going to be packaging our tourism products, and we will ensure that they have that seat at the table.
And I'm really happy that you mentioned that this morning, because this morning I am wearing on my feet Mateo's. Known throughout Tobago as the Master Cobbler, but now branded as Mateo's. Councillor, how do you plan on ensuring that some of the smaller entities get a piece of the pie? Persons like Mateo's, into leather craft, leather everything.
We are looking at providing support to the sector. The administration has given an assurance and a commitment that we have to invest in the tourism sector to rebuild it from the inside out, basically. What that means is that as Secretary, I'm tasked to ensuring how we can now equitably distribute the resources that we have to ensure that everybody who has a stake in the sector is given the necessary support that they would require. My stakeholder consultations are not yet complete, but at the end of those consultations, we will be reviving the standing committee, the tourism standing committee that existed, that pulled together representative stakeholder groups for us to now work along with the division to craft a strategy to be able to provide that kind of support. What we are looking at, because what existed in the past is that grants were made available to, the focus at first was tourism sector providers in accommodation. That was at first the focus, and then grants were brought on board for ancillary services, and then finally the final set of grants that were brought on board were for tourism workers. And I would like to say at this juncture that I have made representations to the Chief Secretary, because he did say that January 31st was the final date for tourism sector workers who were affected by the fallout of COVID to be able to apply for that one-off $5,000 grant. I have asked him on behalf of the stakeholders to have that extended, and he has agreed, so that he has extended that for the next 2 weeks. So persons who have not had the opportunity to apply for those grants, please go into that unit. They are located at where old Unit Trust used to be, behind St. Cecil there, and apply for the grants. So the thing is that the program that we want to put in place will ensure that all of these persons can now come to the division and apply for whatever support we are going to get. We are going to build out the guidelines, we are going to build out the structure of the program, but what it's going to do is ensure that, one, that people get the capital support that they need, two, that we give them very, very, very lenient and manageable terms as to how that support will be administered from the division to the person, because we want to get away from grants and we want to go to a more self-sustaining enterprise. So we're looking at a loan facility, but something that will ensure that our startups, our current businesses, and those who want to expand could get that capital support. And we in the division will ensure that the terms and conditions are very, very favorable to our stakeholders to ensure that they get maximum time to rebuild their businesses.
And, as we look to wind down this morning's interview, because, given the extent of your division, we can only deal with areas at a time. I want you to give a sense, as I have said to those who have been on earlier with us, in 30 seconds.
Right.
This show is viewed throughout Trinidad, it's viewed throughout the region and the world at large. Why Tobago? Tell our viewers, why Tobago?
It's the place to be. Full stop. You can't expect to get a little of everything. Tobago is like a Callaloo. If you want to relax, you get Tobago. You want to go to church, you get Tobago. You want to lime, you get Tobago. You want festivals, you get Tobago. You want water sports, you get Tobago. You want food, you get Tobago. Come to Tobago. It is the only place where you get everything your heart's desire.
Thank you so much, Councillor Tashia Boris. And I see Steaming Cocoa saying here, young, fresh and green. So what you did there, a breath of fresh air. All right. Thank you so much, viewers. And at this point, we have a little presentation.
Yes.
And who is this? Who is this? Courtesy Tobago Updates and?
This is a token for you, Councillor.
Yes.
To see. Now we've got to take it out for you to see.
What's that?
We'll allow her to take it out. We'll allow her to take it out.
But it is courtesy Creative Signs. Creative Signs.
Let's take that
and
mic
the
from
Tobago
her, because
Updates.
we want her to be able to see it, and we want her to hold it up for the audience as well.
I have my face on a mug now.
That's right. It's not a mug shot. Not a mug shot, okay?
Thank you so very much. I would use this morning.
Definitely.
Sylvia, that's when we're with the big boys.
That's when you're rolling with the big boys.
So thank you so much, dear, again.
Yes, thank you so much again, Creative Signs. Thank you so much coming on board with us. And we've got lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates morning show, viewers.
I like the fact that you never know. While you are bringing information here, talking about Tobago, you never know what you can also leave with, courtesy our sponsors here for Tobago Updates.
Thank you so much. So viewers, share the live. Share the live. Share the live.
This day in Tobago history. Did you know that on February 4th, 1977, Tobago Internal Self-Governance Motion was passed? According to Larry Luke's Identity and Secession in the Caribbean, 45 years ago today, a parliamentary resolution granting internal self-government to Tobago was passed. Though many political events helped shape the eventual passing of this motion, it is widely believed that the linchpin was the 1976 election. In that election, Tobago voted with the DAC, and in what seemed to be political retaliation, the PNM disbanded the Ministry of Tobago Affairs. On November 26, 1976, just 2 months after the election, the Regional Congress of the DAC, meeting at the then Caribana Club, authorized its Tobago representatives to introduce a motion in Parliament at the earliest opportunity and take all other proper and necessary steps to achieve internal self-government for Tobago in 1977. Robinson's motion was placed on the parliamentary order paper for introduction on the 10th of December 1976, but was not heard until the 14th of January 1977. The motion read, "Be it resolved that this Honourable House is of the opinion that all proper and necessary steps should be taken to accord the people of Tobago internal self-government in 1977. On the 21st of January 1977, the PNM parliamentarians denounced the motion as legalized secession. Legalized secession. Selwyn Richardson charged that Robinson and the Tobago West representative Winston Murray were seeking self-aggrandizement. On the 28th of January, opposition parliamentarians supported the motion, with Rafiq Shah, representative for Superior, stating that this Honourable House is of the opinion that all proper and necessary steps should be taken to hold a referendum to ascertain the views of the people of Tobago on internal self-government in 1977. He also castigated the government for their laissez-faire attitude towards Tobago. Even though the motion was passed in February 1977, it was not until September 12, 1980 that the Tobago House of Assembly bill was passed. It is noteworthy that Robinson disapproved of the THA bill because he felt it did not provide for certain important measures like the resuscitation of agriculture in Tobago, among other things. This has been This Day in Tobago History. My name is Devon Dana. Be sure to join us after the live.
2, 1.
All right, folks, so I'm back on now my new favorite mode of transportation, as we're going to tell you a little bit about the windsurfing, the sailing, experience. Of course, you know, I'm dry, which means I didn't fall in the water this time. But, I mean, that goes to show you can go and participate in these things and not have to get wet. In case you're wondering and you want those wonderful pictures, I know some of us here in Tobago, we love those wonderful pictures of us out in the water, just experiencing life and stuff like that. This is an excellent way you can do it, and you don't have to worry about getting wet, or at least too wet. But yes, so let's get off here with Brands, and you know,
hey.
I would just like to say that that experience out there was absolutely wonderful. So I just want to thank you, of course, thank your
Nigel.
Nigel, sorry, I keep forgetting his name, my apologies. But yes, I want to thank Nigel for showing me. It was quite easy. It was very, very easy. He, you know, the instructors, of course, are very patient. They will tell you how to read the wind and when to pull the rudders and stuff like that. And it's very quiet. And you were telling me that, you know, some of the experiences, some of the things that you see out there is not what you can see when you're out with a boat, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, when you go out sailing, you know, you have no noise. So you have turtles, you have rays, you have all these things that just can come up and say hi because you're in their environment, you know, and they're allowing you into their home. So it's really amazing versus the other way around where we're always stomping on environments. We're not. We're living symbiotically.
Well, I hope that I have inspired each and every one of you that's watching right now to come on down and, you know, try something. There's many, many, many things that you could do here at Radical Sports Tobago. But how can they get in touch with you if they need to, or find out what you offer?
So many different ways to get in touch with us. One, obviously, or whatever, is radicalsportstobago.com. We're also on social media platforms, Radical Sports Limited Tobago, as well on Facebook, on Instagram. There's Bioluminescence Tobago. There's so many different platforms and ways. Or just come down to world famous Pigeon Point, have a drive until you see the action.
Right. And come on, have a conversation, explore something, try something new, get out of your comfort zone and just experience life. So that's it from me, Candice Jackson, in front of Radical Sports. See you on the other side.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. Here we are in this final segment here this morning, and you know, Ria, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So
it's beautiful.
We couldn't ask for better.
We're heading on the jetty now at this time. Ria, what's happening on the live with us this morning? Viewers, it's been a great morning. Oh, Ria, I forgot. We should pause for a moment here. You know, we got to talk about this outfit. Courtesy Rashad's men's store. Shirt, pants, you know, the slim fit, leaving the ankle on the outside. Nike, you know, just to give that, obviously, that very important combination for men. I want to remind you to feel free to check out Rashad's men's store, and I want to make sure to let you know as well, it's located at New Grange Development in Mount Pleasant. Contact number 631-1049. That's 631-1049, Rashad's men's store.
And my dress this morning is courtesy Oswald George. I need to let you know, Oswald George. The earrings, Flawless Image Consultants, and the shoes, Mateos. The sandals, rather, Mateos. And you can check them out, Facebook and Instagram. You will not regret it. You know, this morning I heard Sadie saying, oh my gosh, Ria, those sandals are lovely. Yes, I said Mateos, Gail, Mateos.
And we know that she's definitely going to check it out.
That's
Ria,
right.
I'm looking on the live here this morning. I'm seeing Persinton, Livingstone, Russell Morrison, Latoya Anderson joining us here, steaming Coco. Ria, who else do we have on the live with us this morning?
Gillian Gray. We're seeing Stephanie George, Nigel Davidson, Pune. All right. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. A quick shout out here to Vernal Thompson, living out in Trinidad, and to my cousin Christopher Ray. You know him as Ray Richardson. So that lovely sign when you're coming into Pigeon Point out at
the entrance there.
The entrance.
Nice.
So there are several signs, a board sign with several arrows pointing in different directions. That was courtesy Christopher Ray Richardson, my cousin, and I have a shout out. Talent like.
Very nice, Ria. I'm also seeing on the live here with us this morning, Kuki Melville, Lisel James joining us on the live. Hey, my family is also on the live. Keshia Primer, good morning to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ria, the love and support is amazing. We're seeing Lyndon saying best dressed host. Well, thank you very much to our sponsors this morning, folks.
That's right.
We are almost out of time, Ria. It's been an amazing morning here at the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you live from Pigeon Point Heritage Park. Ria, it's been beautiful.
I wish we could stay all day.
I know.
But, you know, time flies when you're having fun or when you've had fun. Quick shout out this morning to Helena Isaac, Dora Lyons, good morning. Debbie Gomez, Auntie Debbie, good morning. And trust that you're enjoying the show. And for those persons who are in Trinidad and Tobago for that funeral of Carol Adams that's supposed to take place tomorrow, I want to send out again condolences. So to Beverly Renz and the entire Renz family in Trinidad, condolences and God's peace going out to you guys.
And Ria, you know, we got to shout out this morning as part of our team, Cassie, doing makeup for us. You know, in a space like this, it's always a challenge. But as I sat there doing some makeup, casting my eyes, I realized, I said, but Cassie in shorts and ready for the beach under this Tobago Updates jersey.
Cassie has on her bathing suit. Cassie she probably took her bathing suit on once she knew earlier in the week that we were going to be at Pigeon Point. So Cassandra Hosang, Cassie Hosang, good morning.
It's the way she playing, she's not hearing us on set, but that's all right. We're going to have a good time, folks, and we want to welcome and encourage you. Come enjoy Pigeon Point, folks. We have got to enjoy Tobago as we sell and we promote what we have. We want to thank all of you for joining us, those of you here in Tobago, viewers via Gael, the channel, those of you via M&E TV, those of you who joined us online at TobagoUpdates.com via our Facebook page, Tobago Updates, and of course, those of you on Facebook with us this morning. Thank you so much for the continued love and support.
All right, but we're going to leave it there. remember, viewers, have a great day. In fact, we're going to be here for a little bit longer. Have a great day. Wish you were here down at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park.
Come on down. I think Sadie said from 9. Come on down. Come on down from 9 o'clock this morning.
We were looking out
for someone. Not before. You're not going to put me in trouble with Sadie, but let's carry on.
Who was supposed to join us today? Somebody was supposed to join us.
But I felt that Jimmy would make her way here.
Jimmy?
And let me tell Jimmy, Coco outdo you. Coco is already here in Pigeon Point. All right, Jimmy? All right.
Have a great day, guys. Remember to wear your masks, sanitize, and socially distance yourselves.
All right. Bye-bye, folks.
Good morning, morning. Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning, morning. Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning, morning. Good morning, morning. Want a microphone, morning. I just want a microphone, morning, morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, 'cause there ain't no stopping till it's